very welcome along to the final part of the 6 o'clock show, where Erica Drum has created a clucking good dish for us this evening. Erica, Coronation chicken meets chicken and broccoli bake.
Exactly. So really straightforward, but also kind of nostalgic. Everybody loves it. One of my favourite dinners as a kid was chicken and broccoli bake.
Okay.
Maybe if you'd given me broccoli on its own, I don't know if I would have been straight in there, like we talked about.
Well, we're full of 90s nostalgia, which actually would have come talking about neighbours, so this is a perfect 90s meal for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Coronation chicken itself, you would see in a cold salad kind of buffet maybe. It was an English dish named after the coronation of the Queen, but we've brought it over here. It's got Indian spices in it, so it's curry spices, but with mayonnaise. So Hellmann's are doing an amazing campaign at the moment to use your leftovers. So it's to make something, make taste rather than waste. So make something out of nothing. So the idea here tonight is that I'm using stuff that perhaps could be leftovers. So cooked chicken, if you've done, say, a roast or something, or you could even use all vegetables if you wanted, so cauliflower or carrots or anything like that will go great in here. You could do the whole thing from scratch if you want. I just wanted to show you what it's like to use it with leftovers.
We're pretending we've had a roast dinner yesterday.
We're not going to bed with it. With, you know, you could just microwave it individually on the plate. Why not make a full dish out of it?
Yeah.
So we're going to make the kind of sauce base first. So I'm going in with creme fraiche. So I've got equal parts creme fraiche. Now, traditional bake with broccoli, with chicken and broccoli, would be either done with a roux or sometimes with a Campbell's tomato or mushroom soup. I was saying to you before, and white wine. I'm not putting wine in this one, but I've got creme fraiche and mayonnaise. There's quite a lot there, but we're going to feed a good few people from it. So this is going to be the base of our sauce. Then we've got curry powder. So you could have like maybe something like tikka masala powder as well would be really nice. You could mix it up.
A tablespoon or so in?
That was about, so it was about 3 to 4 teaspoons, so about a tablespoon and a half. Then sultanas, I know that this can be a bone of contention in some households and not loved.
So the bulk of these are optional.
Exactly, as always with my cooking. But it could be apricots or dates or something else if you like. Then I put in the zest of the lemon. Now, I find the citrus and the acid of the lemon in this dish is quite important. So if you don't have a lemon, which is totally fine, put in maybe about a small tablespoon or flat tablespoon of a vinegar of some kind that you have at home. Maybe something like a apple cider vinegar if you have it. So we're going to put the juice of the lemon. It's really nice, just half. It's not loads. So that could equal about a tablespoon of, if you're using a vinegar. Chopped coriander is going in as well.
Right.
This is pretty much the filling, guys. It cannot get easier. And the last thing is the two things. But we're going to just make our sauce first. So you can see, this could be served cold as well. Really delicious. You know, buffet.
I'm getting hungry just looking at this.
So good. Honestly, it's so good. Chicken's gone in. So I just pulled that with my fingers. You could use a fork. When you've done a roast chicken, I always say, try not to waste it all. Lift it, turn it upside down. There's meat everywhere on it. You know, we think maybe it's just in the breast. It's not. It's all over it. And with the broccoli here, I've used the base of the broccoli as well. So the stems of the broccoli too. You just
see, I think that gets a bad deal because you just put it. In supermarkets, they used to give you a sauce so you could take the end off it.
Wow.
But that was at the time when we used to weigh our vegetables. And I'm not paying for the stem.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, and people just throw the stem away. But you're throwing away goodness.
Yes, and actually in France, I think they have a little name for the middle part of the cauliflower. It's like the caviar of the cauliflower or something. I can't remember. The scallop of the cauliflower or something like that. It's a delicacy in a way. So cut the stem off. Now, it is harder, so don't put that in chopped up before you put in your broccoli. Whatever way you do it. I steam this, but even if you're roasting it, give it a good 5 minutes before you're putting in the rest of the broccoli, because it's obviously going to take a little bit longer than the florets. They're more delicate.
Erica, we had Conor Pope on yesterday talking about second tan September and just making more sustainable choices when it comes to fashion and maybe not buying as much as you think you need, you know, and just rewearing what you already
100%.
have. In terms of food, can we adopt kind of similar kind of habits to make sure we're reducing our waste?
That's great, and thank you for asking me these questions because I love them. First thing to do is shop at home. And Conor might have mentioned it about your wardrobe. Check what you have before you go to the supermarket. Another thing we've known since we were always and forever is never go to the supermarket hungry. And like when you do it, you're just like, why did I do this? And you buy multiple amounts of things you don't need, but
random things.
Random things.
Sugar, everything.
Sugary things, because we crave it.
I walk out with 2 bags of donuts And a load of biscuits. God knows how many
And you've
calories.
two eaten by the time you get to the car. I'd sometimes open something in the supermarket but that was before mass days.
You're not the only one.
So yeah, plan a little bit as well. Planning your menus. I know it's hard with kids, it's hard with busy lives to plan your menus. The shopping once a week kind of needs to go a little bit because
it leads to too much waste, does it? Because we had to do that during COVID,
but also it's been done for years, right?
Yeah.
But that's because the big supermarkets, whereas actually you used to shop in your small local. Jimmy's got eggs on Thursdays, you know. So try and bring it back a little bit to your local as much as you can. I know it's not the easiest for everybody, or 2 shops a week maybe instead. Yeah. But shop at home first before you write that list.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a topping that you might think is a little bit weird. We always have leftover rice. I find people don't make too much, you know, there's always bits from maybe a takeaway or whatever else. Yeah. Same goes for bread. So with the bread, we blitz that in a food processor just when it's dried out and is a bit stale, gives you breadcrumbs. The rice is going in. Now,
that's a great tip because my kids will turn up their noses if I try and give them like something that, you know, for the sandwiches in the lunchbox. So that's a great way of using up if it's slightly stale.
Yes. Oh, the bread, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the rice, because it's kind of curryish, it gives us more of a curry flavour. You know, it bulks out the dinner. You know, instead of just a crumb. Then I've got almonds. Oh, they're absolutely divine. I'm back in with a little bit of that Hellmann's mayonnaise to give it a crispy top. How are we doing? I'm going to pour this over the top.
We're doing fine.
Yeah. I have some, here's what I made earlier.
90 seconds.
Okay, fab. So,
this is where the panic sets in.
No panic, never panic. You should see my legs underneath. No, I'm totally fine. I always am. I just make sure that I've met 2 ladies, Olive and Dolores, the other night, and they said, will you make sure they eat your food so we can see
know, Olive,
how
Dolores.
delicious it is.
You see, what would happen is, you see, they were giving out because I wasn't eating the food. And knowing my luck, I'd start eating this, and then I'd be told, can you do the wrap read?
Oh, yeah.
And I've got chicken and broccoli in my teeth.
Right.
This into the oven for how long?
So it's actually quite a while. It's about 50 minutes into the. You might pass that down there for me, please. It's roasting hot. I've done little individual ones, so you can do dinner party dishes with it as well. It smells amazing. As I said, it's a winner for everybody.
This is sizzling.
Yeah, it's still sizzling actually.
I'm going to have to take it out.
Dolores, I'll be trying this in a few minutes when it's cooled down a bit.
That's my fault.
And did you steam the broccoli before you mixed it through?
I was imagining that it was leftover dinners for everybody.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But if it's not, I prefer steaming it than boiling. My broccoli, my cauliflower, my potatoes, everything really, because less liquid will enter it. Make sure you salt it and season your broccoli while it's boiling, as well as, you know, in the dish. You could taste that before you serve it.
Season while it's steaming, really?
Yeah, it actually goes into it better. So especially the stalk, it goes right the way through it. So when you eat the piece of stalk, it's got lovely broccoli flavour. And yeah, as I said, it could be leftover carrots, you could have a can of sweet corn, you know. You can kind of imagine that mayonnaise will go with quite a lot of stuff.
Okay. Go to your fridge and your cupboard. Start your shopping there before you head out to the supermarket.
Definitely, I'm all about it. Don't waste
Make a list.
Make a list.
Listen, that's it. We're all out of time. Massive thank you to all of our guests. To Erica Drum, thank you for feeding us. It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, fun show tonight. Tomorrow we're chatting to Olympic boxer Kenny Egan. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.